7 years ago, we started this concept sort of out of the desire to bring what it is that we do inside of a kitchen as trained chefs and restaurateurs. We all eat standing up in about 3 minutes. You know, you get ready, you prep all day, and then you have all these great ingredients in front of you, stuff them in some bread, eat, and go cook for people all night. So one day, we all got around, my partner Tom, myself, and Sisha, who's not here right now, got around, and we decided, well, let's just bring this out to the front of the store, in the case, and let's put these kind of combinations and these techniques together in between two slices of bread, which was kind of the idea. So if you're familiar with craft restaurant, with a C, not a K, if you're familiar with craft restaurant over on 19th Street, the idea was to take what it is we do over there and put it between two slices of bread. And 7 years later, we've got 14 stores here in New York, one in Las Vegas, one in San Francisco, and we're just figuring out what's next. We have some retail products in Williams-Sonoma. We've been able to develop a product line there, cookbook, and a lot of other things in the works. So we've sort of had a very loyal following over the last 7 years because everything we make is handmade every day. We try to use local ingredients from organic, local, and or sustainable farming practices wherever we can. And I think that's been one of the big driving factors in terms of our loyalty. Just to speak a little bit about that, 30% of our customers come 3 times a week, twice a day. So either breakfast and lunch or lunch and afternoon coffee, snack, cookie. Now that's building actually because we also offer dinner here at this location, and so most of those folks come, a lot of those folks come for dinner or delivered to their offices, delivery as well. Another 35% of our customers come once a week, regularly, twice a day. So that's another kind of interesting little thing. So between about 60% of our customers come at least once a week, twice a day. It's pretty high loyalty. I think a lot of that has to do with the a bit with the innovative food combinations. A lot of it has to do with that people feel really good about what they're eating because of where it comes from and how it's made. If you go to our commissary on 27th Street and 11th Avenue, I've got 25 people over there every day chopping things by hand, making things by hand, just as if it was a restaurant, not a deli where we get processed meats from somewhere else. And that's key to us. We wouldn't do it any other way. It's the way we know. We grew up in the fine dining world, so we kind of put this sandwich shop together as an experiment, and then figured out the business afterwards. And you know, it looks like we're doing all right. Personally, I am an incredible advocate of local sustainable farming practices. In particular, I'm working very closely and soon to be on the board of Grow NYC, which is New York City's farmers. It's the organization that runs New York's farmers markets. They've been doing it for 40 years. They have 50 farmers markets in Manhattan, 127 in 5 boroughs. They are also the largest and most. They're part of the mayor's office, and they're the largest organization to handle the recycling program for all of New York City. So in addition to farming and food, they're also all about reuse, recycle. So it's very important to me that everything that we serve, or a lot of that we serve, is from a good place. And I think that comes out, hopefully it does. We also do a lot of stuff with our communities. Right now, during the summer, we have 3 kids from the Fresh Air Fund, which is, I don't know if you're familiar with that program. I'm on the junior council of that as well, and we take 3 interns every summer and bring them into the restaurants. We train them on how to be cooks, cashiers, marketing associates, business associates, whatever. And at the end of the 8 weeks, they sort of contribute their ideas to a new menu item. That menu item goes on the menu, and a portion of the proceeds of that goes back to the Fresh Air Fund. So in addition to that, we've got a bunch of other programs but all community driven and all community related, and dealing with urban agriculture, kids, farming, and such like this. So that's us in a nutshell. I think we're more than just a sandwich shop, and it's by including all these different component parts in what we do. At the end of the day, though, I think people also just crave the flavor combinations that we put together. together, which is part of the. I know that your message here today is about flavorful as well. We wouldn't just we wouldn't put ham and cheese on a piece of white bread. We do it, ham from Ozark Mountain pigs that is grown in the right way, but a little bit of butter on a great baguette. That's what we do it. So enjoy yourself this rest of the day. You got a lot of great stuff coming up. Thanks for your time, and Rachel knows where to get me if you have any further questions. All right, thanks so much. Yeah, sure.
How did you come up with the name for your restaurant?
As anything else, we had the happenstance. We actually had the name before we had the restaurant. Okay. There's a restaurant over here called Craft Bar, which is Tom's one of our other restaurants. And when they were thinking about that, which was originally next door to Craft, so it was Craft on 19th Street. Space came available next door to Craft, which is now the Craft Private Dining Room, but it was originally Craft Bar. They were sitting in Tom's office, and Tom's wife, who's great at this stuff, they were just throwing off names, and she threw off Witchcraft because on that menu you have trattoria, wine bar. So there's a lot of paninis on the menu as well as. Now it's more focused on entrees and appetizers and other dishes, but there's still paninis on the menu. And she's like, "Well, what about Witchcraft?" And everyone's like, "Oh, that's a great name, but that's not really appropriate." So they put it in the drawer, and then about a year later, the space next door to Craft Bar came available, and Sisha, my partner, was. Saying, "Hey, I want to do a sandwich shop," and they're like, "Oh, we got the name. That's easy. Now we got to go figure out the menu." So, but that's how the name came about.
Thank you. Can I ask one more question?
Sure.
Do you have time for it?
Yeah, I do.
How do you? What's your innovation process? Like, how do you get inspired to make up such innovative, products?
It comes from everywhere. Actually, if you read the cookbook, the introduction to the cookbook, Sisha talks a lot about his inspirations for a lot of the flavor combinations, but. Most of it comes from various places. For instance, the goat cheese, celery, avocado, walnut pesto, watercress multigrain sandwich that we have for lunch. The main inspiration of that is a salad of celery and avocado that Sisha used to eat when he was a kid in Chile. So to the degree that it comes from like these little places, it's great. A lot of it are classic combinations. What most people think is our most bizarre sandwich, the marinated white anchovy with frisee and salsa verde and roasted onions on white bread. On a country bread is actually a classic Italian combination. You can go to Italy and get a salad of soft cooked egg, roasted onions, marinated white anchovies, pretty much anywhere. And so it's not. It comes from comes from a lot of different places. At dinner, there's a marinated eggplant with goat